Hello lovelies. Dresses should be one of the easiest things in your wardrobe. The wrong hemline, print, or styling choice can instantly make them feel frumpy or outdated. So today I'm breaking down the dress mistakes that I see the most often and how to instantly fix them, showing you simple swaps on how to make them look more modern, effortless, and flattering. And this is also not about dressing age appropriate, it's about making the dress work for you. Welcome back, and if you're new, I'm Ziba, and I'm so excited that you're here. If you love modern style with timeless taste, make sure to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss a video. If you see anything you love, everything is linked in the description below, in a pinned comment, here on YouTube Shopping, and a QR code in case you're watching this on your television. First mistake shouldn't surprise you. It's wearing shapeless dresses with no intentional structure. But once you start figuring out what to look for, you won't be able to unsee it. For example, even in this very shapeless dress by Fabrique, little details that make it feel intentional. For example, the tiered skirt, the buttons on the paneling, and the very deliberate flowy skirt. Very much like this Ralph Lauren dress that has the cable knit bodice with a very airy poplin skirt that has a drop waist, which makes it feel very chic and elegant. Now, let's say that you do end up with a very shapeless dress because it's comfortable, or you might already have it in your closet. One of the easiest ways to fix this is by cinching it with a belt. Some of my favorite belts for this is number one, the Quince braided belt that you can just kind of like loop around. Also the Amazon Hermes inspired belt that you can just cinch your waist, adjust, and be done with it. You don't have to worry about where to tuck the remaining belt. The third belt that I love for dress cinching are quite a few Ralph Lauren belts. This is the most recent one that I got. It's a stirrup belt. Has a way to just kind of cinch it at your waist without having any flapping. Also, they have a beautiful equestrian inspired belt that does the same thing. Now, when you do have a dress that comes with a belt, a lot of times it's a fabric belt, and unfortunately it can make your outfit look a little bit cheaper, because a lot of times what happens with fabric belts is that they're not ironed or steamed, and so they end up being a little bit frumpy looking, and they start to kind of like shrivel up, if you know what I mean. So when it comes to creating a little bow or just tying it around your waist, it makes the entire dress suffer. So I love swapping out some of those belts that I just mentioned for the fabric belt. That's a really easy win to just help elevate your dress immediately. On the other hand, not every dress needs to be belted. For example, that dress by Fabrique that's just nice, light, and airy should never be belted. Also, this floral one by Zazan, it would be a mistake to find a way to belt it, especially because the back is very dramatic, and adding anything to kind of mess with the line would be a travesty. Also, I just got this dress by Vichy collection that I absolutely love. I actually saw it on Instagram on one of my friends. She's a collaborator with them. I instantly grabbed it, and she also let me share her discount code with you, so you can get 40% off using her code. So I'll link the dress below. But this dress is beautiful and it's so affordable. It's slightly form-fitting, and then at the very end, it has this like little white kind of like petticoat underneath that adds beautiful volume and just great movement to the bottom of the dress. It's very Parisian inspired, and if you love Parisian style, make sure to head to my French Girl Outfit Formulas video. I'll link it here. But this is the kind of dress that you could belt it, but it just doesn't need to be belted. The next mistake that is probably the most damaging to me personally is choosing a low quality fabric or very clingy dress. This is the kiss of death for style. It's just so distracting visually, and a lot of times it just robs you of your confidence. You know, once you kind of start to see VPL or you're just self-conscious, it's not going to do your style any favors. And this doesn't just happen with inexpensive, like cheap Amazon dresses or low quality fabrics. This just recently happened to me with a Zazan dress that's more form-fitting, and I just felt so uncomfortable, and it was too clingy. It wasn't thick enough. And for that reason, it's out. Now, on the other hand, a dress that I'm absolutely loving, even though it is a little bit slinky and very sexy, is this one by Ralph Lauren. It's satin. They have it in 3 different colors. I got the black. I could probably also use it in navy because the navy is absolutely spectacular. But this dress, although it's very slight and very 90s inspired, it's got enough thickness that I don't feel overexposed. I don't feel like I also have to wear shapewear underneath or a slip. It's beautiful, and it's got adjustable straps. If you love this style and want a better for budget option, the Quince silk slip dress is also a really popular bestseller. I would recommend that you get it in a darker color because that one tends to be a lot more forgiving than their champagne colors that tend to show a little bit more. Or also finding a dress that moves with you. I love this white dress, also by Fabrique, that follows your shape but doesn't cling in the wrong places. It's just very flowy, super feminine. Definitely more of an occasion dress, but if you're looking for something that's beautiful and kind of a showstopper, this is a great piece. The next mistake is not paying attention to the cut, in particular several placements. Number one, having the dress hit the widest part of your calf is a great way to usually make you look shorter or just your legs appear bigger than they are. Some general lengths to look for is, does it hit above your knee as a mini skirt? I love this dress by Zazan that just is not too short. It's still a mini dress, but it hits right above my knee so that you can see a lot of my leg. The other mini dress that's fantastic is the Quinn's linen dress. It makes me feel very Audrey Hepburn. It's got pockets, very comfortable. The other length that's very flattering is right underneath the knee. And then of course, a flowing maxi dress. This one is also by Quinn's. It's a long linen maxi dress that is very long, but so pretty and effortless. I'm wearing it to any occasion because it's so comfortable. The other thing with cut to watch is depending on your bust size or how broad your shoulders are, it might alter how cap sleeves fall on your arms or flutter sleeves. So make sure that the seams sit right at your shoulders versus, like, for example, in this dress here, like if it wasn't cut right for my body type, then this seam would kind of sit a little bit further away from my shoulders, or alternatively, the seam would be like kind of over here. And what ends up happening is that it just looks like it doesn't fit. So watch for the seams, watch how things fall, especially when it comes to fancier enhancements like flutter sleeves or cap sleeves. The next one is not a surprise. It's overly busy prints. Usually when I close my eyes, I see like a J-Gel or a Chico's print, Amazon, where there's just a lot of busyness. It's usually very big and got a lot of different fluorescent colors coming in and out of it. At this point, many of us are great at recognizing this is gonna look a little dated or age my look. However, who doesn't love a fun print? For example, the dress that I'm wearing here is got a very subtle polka dot print. It's always a classic. Polka dots are always in style. And this is, I think, like a good gateway polka dot dress where it's not like these big, huge, like Minnie Mouse polka dots, but more subtle. Also, this dress by Zazan is a beautiful floral that is very busy, but it's so beautifully crafted and designed that it feels really timeless. And speaking of a heavy print dress, if you have a dress like this leads us to our next point. And to not over accessorizing, let the dress lead with something. For example, it can lead with a print, or with your jewelry or shoes or a statement bag. When everything kind of happens at once, it can be super overwhelming. And so the eye doesn't know where to look because you're competing with your entire outfit. Choose what it's gonna be. For example, with that slip dress from Ralph Lauren, I can wear it alone and be very 90s minimalist, or I can add a gold Cuban chain, a scarf around my waist, a belt, a pop of color bag. There's a lot of different things that I can do because the dress is so simple. But for example, if we have a dress like the Maeve one that I showed you earlier, I can't do with that dress, even if it was a black color, I couldn't do with that dress what I did with the Ralph Lauren slip dress because it's just a different cut and it's overall a lot busier. So picking what you're gonna lead with is absolutely key. And speaking of finishing touches, the next mistake that I see all the time is wearing your dress with the same outdated shoe. Many times what happens, and I see this every day, you choose your dress beautifully and you've got your bag and you made yourself up, and then you go for the shoes that you know are comfortable and go with everything. Most of the time, correct me if I'm wrong, it's a pair of black shoes. It doesn't matter like what your dress is doing. Many of us just end up going for the comfortable black shoes that are in no man's land because we're used to them and it's reliable. This is one of the easiest ways to make or break your outfit because many times just swapping out that black tone for a nude colored shoe, a metallic, even the wrong shoe theory where you're wearing a dress with sneakers or even moto boots can really help elevate your style because you're just not stuck in that rut. Kind of shows people that you know what you're doing instead of wearing your trusty, reliable pair of black shoes. Now, wearing ho-hum shoes is not great, but it's not as bad as wearing the wrong underwear. And you know what? This even includes heavy shapewear underneath because sometimes, especially in the summer season, when you're wearing a nice light and airy dress and then underneath there's something just like vacuuming, just like suctioning you in, we can see that through your dress. So that's not gonna help you at all. Really focus on making sure that you nail the tones that you're wearing underneath. Wearing something that matches your skin tone. Seamless is so key. I am so guilty of that. There's sometimes where I'm like, oh, I feel so pretty and like this lacy. And then I'm always like, wow, I can see that. And so can everybody else. It's a big mistake. So my favorite bras are Under Outfit. I have a discount code for them. I just got this bra by Notori also, that's their t-shirt bra. And in terms of shapewear, if you do need a little help, then Thigh Society has really great thin and even cooling shapewear that is not only going to make your outfit look great, but also keep you nice and cool. Next, we have the styling your dress like it's 2016. And I know it's really easy to find an outfit formula that works for you and then just do rinse and repeat. See this a lot when I visit kind of like more older women brands and I go to their accessories section and I see the same kind of like heavy plasticky accessories and necklaces that are pendants and just like lots of rattling around plastic wear that was super in, I think J. Crew really put these necklaces on the map 10, 12 years ago. But wearing your dresses with those and your wedges and floppy hats, instead updating your accents and shoes. I just got these beautiful pendants by Awe Inspired. They're little portraits of Greek goddesses, and I got Artemis and also Freya, and I kind of stacked them and I love the way they look. Also, I just got this belt by Streets Ahead that's like this really chunky Western inspired look. It's another great belt to use when you want to swap out a fabric belt for a real belt. And in terms of shoes, we saw a huge return to flip-flops this summer. It's been everywhere. It's like a craze. I haven't worn the heeled flip-flops. I've only stuck to like the regular leather flip-flops. But just looking to shoe trends to help modernize even a dress that you've had for a long time is really low-hanging fruit when it comes to making style upgrades. If you want more ideas on wearable summer shoe trends, make sure to watch this video after this. And the last mistake is something that really affects us over 45 ladies when we're trying to dress age appropriate, but in doing so, we end up covering everything up and it ends up just feeling very matronly instead of modern. The name of the game here is balance is everything. If it's going to be more form-fitting, then you can have more skin covered up. Like this dress that I'm wearing now, there's really nothing showing except that it is more form-fitting. If you're going to have a looser dress, like I showed you in the beginning with the Fabrique black maxi dress, it's a dress that shows a lot of your arms and your back. So the flowiness really helps kind of balance the skin exposure. Other things to look for depending on the parts of your body that you love. Like if you love your arms, sleeveless is the way to go. If you don't, and you want to cover up your arms and you love your back or your cleavage, that's the way to go. Or maybe there's no skin showing up on the top, but it's a slightly shorter dress. This is really when it becomes about playing into your confidence and not being afraid to show your best assets. I just did a video on the do's and don'ts of styling your slip skirt for summer. See you there. And if you learned something today, make sure to hit the subscribe button.